I think legacy gets closest to it. I always say my goal is, in being a pioneer, if I am one to begin with, is to leave the path a little bit more open for people who follow. And the path that I've chosen right now is that of women in sports, women in extreme sports, women in freeski. And part of the reason why the medals and the records mean so much to me is that in a male-dominated sport, these records are held by a woman. And it's not about, what trick I'm doing, but the mental fortitude that it takes to perform time and again on the world stage is something that I have trained for my entire life, essentially. And so as far as greatness goes, I think it's about being the representation, being the first in a meaningful way, so that when people think of free skiing, maybe the first time they hear about it is from someone who's a young woman who looks like them, speaks like them, and represents them in a way, so that they never question their place in the sport. For me, I think greatness is opening doors for people who follow, making the road a little bit easier so that generations can progress and build upon the shoulders of the ones who came before them. I think my answer here is twofold. One is about showing vulnerability. I've always thought that being the best is making things look easy. You are excellent, and it seems as though you kind of just cruise through life. Of course she won another gold medal, she's won 20 already. But I think with vulnerability, there's so much more power in that, because it empowers other people to feel as though they can undertake the journey too. And I'm not here to parade medals around. I'm not here to stand on a stage and tell everyone that I'm the best ever. The whole point of this is that if I can do it, then everyone else should try too. If I can do it, so can you, right? And so the point in that is showing people that it's hard, right? Like, I really struggled. I had a lot of mental health issues after the last Olympics. I dealt with severe injury. A year ago, I had a concussion in January of 2025. I had seizures after, and people were worried if I was going to wake up. Like, that's a real terrifying experience to go through, and I dealt with injury, and I dealt with cyberbullying, and I dealt with so many different things. But what's important, I think, is learning to start showing that to the world in a way that is beneficial, right? I also don't want to be complaining, but the point is I have difficulties too. Everything that I have, I fought tooth and nail to get. Every contest is close. People are like, oh, the contest wasn't close. I have to still perform every time, and it's not an easy thing to do. So short answer would be the power of vulnerability and the power of showing the real you. I've been taking Italian on Duolingo to prepare for this Olympics so that I can ask for un cornetto when I need it. Flo is amazing. She's an amazing skier. I so admire the journey she's been through. I was actually there. I watched her tear her ACL in November because I was at the same training camp that she was at. And the decision-making and rehab process she must have gone through is unbelievable. So it's absolutely a testament to her mental strength to perform in the moment when it counts most. And I guess I can empathize a little bit with that, with the last Olympics being in Beijing as well. So I'm sure that being in Italy really gave her that extra fire, and it was so exciting to watch her perform. Italy is just so amazing. All the people here have been spectacular, and the fans have been fantastic. So yeah, grazie mille to them. There's a lot of expectation on me this Olympics, I think, because I did pretty well at the last Olympics. And it's so much harder to do something twice than to do something once, because when you do something once, you don't really know how hard it is. But when you do it the second time, you almost have this fear in the back of your head because you know what's to come, and you know the adversity that you're going to have to endure to reach an impossible outcome, right? Impossible outcomes demand impossible processes. And so I think the hardest thing for me was maintaining my mental and also physical capacity throughout 3 weeks. I've been likening it to a marathon distance, but at the pace of a sprint, because I can't let up. Every day is the Olympics. There's no day that I can tone the pace back a little bit, because every day matters so much. And so I think the hardest part was being the only female athlete competing in all 3 events, daring to try, competing in an event that I hadn't competed in 4 years. And of course, everyone's going to say, she's the defending Olympic gold medalist. People don't know how difficult the last 4 years have been, the fact that I haven't competed in this event, that I honestly haven't really prepared a whole lot for big air, the fact that that final was then overlapping with a training for halfpipe, which I haven't skied in 2 months because I was training slopestyle. Like, these are problems that other athletes don't have to deal with. And I don't say that in like a complaining way. I choose to undertake these challenges, but with great pressure and responsibility also comes great triumph. You know, higher the reward and higher the stakes, the higher the reward. And so I think, looking back on it, I'm proud that I made the decisions that I did. It was a big gamble. It was a big bet on myself. But even if it hadn't gone my way, I would have nothing to regret, because I have done quite literally every single thing that I possibly could to prepare for this game. There's not one thing that I look back on and think, oh gosh, I wish I had done XYZ. I've done it all. Everything I could possibly think of, I did. And so even if the results didn't come, I know that I did my very best. And at the moment when it counted most, I showed the world that I wasn't afraid to try. And so that's embodying sportsmanship. It's embodying the Olympic spirit. And I think it's representing young women in a way that I would hope to be, and that I think is really honorable. So that's my contribution. And I'm really proud that things worked out as far as medals as well.